Welcome to the webinar. We are sending live from the Naval Architecture Lab at the School of Engineering Science at KTH. Please feel free to submit your questions during the webinar, and the presenters will answer as many of them as possible at the end of the presentation. Please go ahead and start.
Welcome to the School of Engineering
Can you
Sciences at KTH. We're now in the Lightweight Structures and Maritime Systems Laboratory. And my name is Fredrik Lundell, and during this webinar I will introduce you to the master programs of the School of Engineering Sciences at KTH. And to help me with this, I have two of our student ambassadors here. Suevatanakul from Thailand.
Yes.
Welcome. And Ariadna Sora Alvarez from Barcelona. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So I am a professor in experimental fluid mechanics. I do research on turbulence and transition in particle suspensions, and I also work on hydrodynamically assisted assembly of nanostructured biomaterials. That is, we're trying to use the Swedish forests to make novel materials with unseen properties. In terms of teaching, I'm teaching in mechanics and fluid mechanics, and I also participate in the courses in teaching and learning, in which we teach the teachers of KTH how to teach, to put it simply. In terms of hobbies, I enjoy stuff on the water, so it's very fitting that we are in the Maritime Systems Laboratory. I sail on the water in the summer and I skate on it in winter. It's different phases but same molecule. So I'd also like to give you a chance to introduce yourself. So, Ariadna.
Yes, my name is Ariadna Soro Alvarez. I'm 24. I'm a second year master's student in engineering physics. I come from Barcelona in Spain, as you said, where I studied a double degree in physics and math in the Autonomous University of Barcelona. What about you?
Hi again. My name is Siwatanakul, but I usually go with Boon, which is my nickname. Currently, I am a first-year master's student in Aerospace Engineering at KTH and also a student ambassador of the same program. I had a bachelor degree in back in my home country, also in Aerospace Engineering. I come from Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm very excited to share an experience at KTH with you today.
Yeah. So how do you think about our temperature today? Is it like you're used to, or slightly chillier?
It's very different from what I had in my country, and yeah, but I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, we have a fairly cold winter day with -5 centigrades in Stockholm. Very beautiful with snow and ice. The School of Engineering Sciences is one of KTH's 5 schools, and we are responsible for the research and education in physics, mathematics, mechanics, and vehicle engineering. We have about 2,500 undergraduate and graduate students up to the master level, and about 300 PhD students. We're about 900 employees and roughly 90 full professors. And to the right here, you see our images from our 3 main locations. It's the Physics Center Albanov on the top, the KTH main campus down to the left, and the Science of Life Laboratory, where we have a lot of biophysics activities to the right. The Science for Life Laboratory is situated close to the Karolinska Institute, which is Stockholm Medical University. And talking about these localities, you are quite familiar with the white building there, aren't you, Ariadna?
Yes, in the top building, in the top picture, we can see Albanovo building, and most of engineering physics courses are there because most of the teachers have their offices there, the labs. There's a clean room, nanofabrication lab, some laser optics labs, and we're expanding. So by next year, we're going to have more buildings in that area. It's located between KTH's main campus and Stockholm University, but it's very close by, so it's fairly easy to commute if you have courses in other parts of campus.
So you can take courses at both campuses in parallel without
yes,
problems.
it takes less than 15 minutes walk, so you can have one course right after the other.
Yeah, great. And you, Woon, where do you hang around?
Now my courses are going on in the campus, so in the main campus. So as you can see in the picture, the green one and the orange building. So that is one of the most historic building at KTH, and I also have a course inside this building. It looks old outside, but in the inside we have a completely new renovation. So it's actually new in the inside.
Great. And the School of Engineering Sciences is split into 4 departments. It's physics, applied physics, mathematics, and from the 1st of January we'll have a department of engineering mechanics, which consists of the previous departments of aeronautical and vehicle engineering, mechanics, and solid mechanics. And in terms of ranking, these areas rank quite well. We are very proud to tell you that in the QS ranking, KTH is ranked 44 in mathematics, 26 in mechanical, aeronautical and manufacturing engineering, and 51 in physics and astronomy. And in the Shanghai ranking, we are ranked 43rd in mechanical engineering and 23rd in mathematics. And another aspect where we are highly ranked is sustainable development, where we were ranked 7 worldwide in the impact with regard to the UN Sustainability Development Goals. And this was a ranking by the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking 2019. And sustainability is one of the 4 pillars on which KTH rests. And in addition to sustainability, they are equality, internationalization, and digitalization. And before we continue to the master programs, which are 10, and we will present them one by one, I would like to take a minute or two to talk a bit about something that is common for all the master programs, namely the student-teacher relationship. Is it similar to what you were used to from your from your previous university, or is it? Are there any differences?
It's very close, the relationship. The lectures are very small, so you get to know the teacher on a first name basis, and you don't need like certain titles. So when you write an email to a teacher, you don't need to start with dear, Mr. or professor. So it's very good if you want to go into research, for instance, because it helps you with the networking. You get to know the teachers, what's going on. They can help you find other programs. And actually in that line, we've interviewed some of the teachers we had. So this week, we're going to be posting some material that is actually some of the sustainability-related projects that are ongoing at KTH, and in particular at the School of Engineering Sciences. So just check Facebook, Instagram, it's all going to be there.
Great.
You want to know more about it. What about you? What's your view on this?
Yes, so it's pretty different from what I had in my bachelor a lot. So as Ariana say, it's informal. We can address teachers by the first name. And we have a lot of projects, and teachers are open for discussion, for any kind of request or discussion as well. So just write an email or go to see them after lecture, and that way is the best way to contact teachers.
So with that, we are ready to start with the main topic of this webinar, namely the presentation of the degree programs. And as I mentioned, the School of Engineering Sciences offers 10 degree programs. And in this presentation, they will be divided into 3 blocks. One on the first on mathematics, the second on physics, and the third on engineering mechanics. And in each block, we'll present the programs. We'll also introduce one of the professors, not in person, but with a brief presentation on a slide. And we'll also show you an impact case on how the work in the area makes further impact to the society, and we'll also show you an example of a master thesis performed in the subject. So with that, we're ready to start with mathematics. And in mathematics, we have 3 master programs. The first one is Applied and Computational Mathematics. And mathematics is now a key technology for forming the future in economy and society. So it's a key for and both health and well-being, industrial innovation and infrastructure, and of course climate action, because we need math to master our behaviors and our planet. The tracks in the Applied and Computational Mathematics program are Computational Mathematics, Mathematics of Data Science, Financial Mathematics, and Optimization and Systems Theory. The second program in mathematics is the mathematics program. It's a joint program with Stockholm University, which is not far away. It's one subway stop from the KTH main campus. And this is given jointly because it capitalizes on all the mathematical expertise available in Stockholm to offer a top-class program ranging from pure to applied math, from algebra analysis, combinatorics, all the way to partial differential equations and mathematical image sciences, etc. And one of the teachers in mathematics is Anna-Karin Thornberg, who is a professor in mathematics. She's a member of both the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences and the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences. She works on numerical algorithms for solving partial differential equations in dynamic geometries, and with a special application to multi-phase flows. So I actually have the pleasure to collaborate with Anna-Karin myself on the motion of elongated structures in different flows, such as nanofibrils. Anna-Karin has her PhD in numerical analysis from KTH, and then made a postdoc at Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences in New York, where she also got tenure before she returned to KTH and became a full professor in numerical analysis. And she teaches different math classes, in particular in numerical methods. So with that, we continue to the third master program in mathematics, and that's the COSE program, the Computer Simulations for Science and Engineering. Because as you know, advanced simulations are becoming a third pillar of science, in addition to theory and experiments. Complete scientific studies today often rely on both theory, experiments, and simulations. So therefore, there's a strong need for highly qualified individuals who can work with computer simulations for science and engineering. And therefore, we have joined forces with TU Delft and TU Berlin and offer a joint degree program where the students spend 1 year at each university. And of course, these simulations will help us with several of the sustainability development goals, such as affordable and clean energy, where proper simulations of many of the processes involved, ranging from molecular dynamic simulations of solar cells to the flow inside around a wind turbine, are essential to offer clean energy for all. The works in applied math at KTH is strongly linked to many industries, and one example is research. And research is a company working on optimization of radiation therapy, and this has been a long-going collaboration between this company, which started as a startup and now is a worldwide operations, selling software to optimize treatment of cancer, which of course is good for the health. And within this collaboration, there has been a large number of PhD students over the years. We also want to show you a master thesis work in applied and computational mechanics, and this is also related to clean and clean energy. Namely, and it's about hydrological flows in Sweden. What you see here is a section of northern Sweden, and northern Sweden is important for us because in northern Sweden we have a lot of hydropower. And what was done in this master thesis is that the flow in this network of rivers, streams, and other water sanctuaries was modeled, and this is important in order to optimize the system and utilize the hydropower as cleverly as possible. And this is of course important in particular because we need the hydropower to balance the wind and sun, which is unbalanced over the day and year. The student who did this, Jonathan Ridenor, he did this work at a research institute called Sweco, together with this Swedish Meteorology Institute, and he is now a data scientist at a company called Engenic in Uppsala, just 80 kilometers north of Stockholm. That finishes the math presentations, and now we're approaching physics. So soon we'll talk about your program, Ariadne. And in physics, we have two programs. The first is your program, Engineering Physics. And how do you find studying engineering physics at KTH?
I love it, honestly. I am in the quantum technology track. There are other tracks like biomedical, there's optics and photonics, there's subatomic and astrophysics and theoretical physics. And what I love most about it is there's so much flexibility when it comes to choosing courses. I am in the quantum technology track, but I've been able to get to choose courses from biomedical, from optics and photonics, from theoretical physics, and not even this, but also you can, if it's related to your program, you get to choose courses from other masters. Like if you're interested in machine learning or sustainable technology or maybe financial math, that's, as long as it's related to your program, you have a lot of flexibility. And another thing I love about it is that all the focus doesn't rely on a final exam, but we have a lot of home assignments and group work. So that helps you keep up to date with what you're studying, the subjects you're treating in class, so you don't fall behind, and also distribute the workload better so that you don't get like a crazy exam week or with lots of stress at the end of the semester.
Mm. And is it an international environment, or how is it?
Yes, it's a bit mixed. We have, I couldn't tell you the numbers. There are some Swedish people who have been studying at KTH already, but there's also a lot of internationals. Some Europeans, I have friends from Italy, Belgium, Germany. Also, we have some other internationals from all around the world, from China, Thailand.
Oh yeah, so you seem to be quite satisfied with your choice. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, I would choose it again.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. And a professor at physics is Hjalmar Brismar. Have you had the pleasure to meet him?
No, unfortunately not.
No, he does very challenging and advanced stuff on trying to decipher how physical principles govern cell biology. And he got his master's in engineering physics at KTH, and then went on to do his PhD here, and has then been was a postdoc at Harvard, and then was for a while worked as assistant professor at the Karolinska Institute, the medical university here in Stockholm, before he became a professor of experimental biological physics at the Department of Applied Physics here at KTH. And he is teaching in a lot of courses, or several courses, on both microscopy and biologically inclined physics. The second degree program in physics is nuclear energy engineering, and going back to clean energy, it's clear that for the foreseeable future, nuclear energy will be a basis, will be one of the an important part of our energy mix. And for this, to run our nuclear power plants in a safe and efficient manner, we need highly educated engineers. So our nuclear energy engineering program educates those engineers that will keep us getting electricity from our reactors as in a good way. And when it comes to impact, we have chosen an example where a new desalination technology is developed. It's a capacitive desalination technology which aims at making possible to provide drinking water for more people at less cost. And this is an idea at KTH which is presently marketed by a startup company called Stockholm Water Technology, and the main person involved in the development of this technology is Joydep Dutta at Functional and Nanomaterials at Applied Physics. And him you have met, or you know?
Yeah, I just met him last week. We had Applied Physics Day for the whole Department of Applied Physics in Albanova, and there were a lot of talks. He gave a talk on his research, and he exposed this as one of his ongoing projects. Yes.
Yeah. It's fantastic what you can do with the nanophysics, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
And an example of a master thesis in applied physics is a project studying gas analysis using hollow core optical fibers. The challenge here is to detect gas because it's used in applications ranging from monitoring leakage of dangerous chemicals or to evaluate the concentration of greenhouse gases. So the purpose of this master thesis was to show the possibility to use hollow core optical fibers for such gas analysis. And this was a project made by Frans Forsberg, and was carried out in collaboration with RISE Acreo, which is a research institute, and Cementa AB, which is actually Sweden's biggest, I think, maker of concrete for construction work. This must have been a good experience from the institute's point of view, because Frans is now a development engineer at the RISE Institute. And you're soon to start your master thesis, aren't you?
Yes, I will be starting in January. I'll do my master thesis in one of the groups in the applied physics departments. I'll work with David Haviland, who's the head of the nanostructure physics. It's a project funded by the European Commission, and we're going to be working in atomic force microscopy, which is a type of microscope that can scan over a sample that can be either biological or inorganic, and studying the interaction forces. It can reach like molecular and even atomic level, but we're trying to go past that and reach the standard quantum limit. So what I'm going to be doing is being in charge of the mathematical modeling and the computer simulations part.
I hope you will have a fun spring with all of that. So was it hard to find a master thesis?
Not for me, because I got this because I already worked with this group in summer. So I knew this teacher he was a teacher of mesoscopic physics, one of the courses that I took last year, and I got really good grades. So he approached me and said, hey, I have an opening for this summer, would you like to work with us? We did an interview, so I worked with them, and now I would like to continue this work that I had already started and see if we can come up with a publication.
Mm. Ah, that's a very good development, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we're now going from physics to engineering mechanics, which is my home department. I will actually be the head of the engineering mechanics department from 1st of January. And in this department we have not less than 5 master programs, and when you hear the subjects I think you understand why there are more of them compared to physics and math. The first one is Naval Architecture. This is where we're standing right now. It's a multidisciplinary subject with a strong emphasis on systems engineering and engineering design. You might have seen students and faculty in the background, and some of them are actually preparing to go to the west coast of Sweden tomorrow to run their submersible drone in algae culturing places to see how to navigate an underwater drone in that environment. And from a sustainability perspective, it's of course highly relevant for the oceans. The drones we're making here can be used for ocean monitoring and other purposes. It's also so that we work with commuting traffic on water. This is particularly relevant for Sweden, right? Because there's a lot of water in Sweden, isn't it? Yes. Sweden is actually situated between a lake and the Baltic Sea. So there's a lot of islands and water in Sweden, and I think we'll see more of that soon when we come to the student life pictures.
Yes. There are like more than 40 islands, I think.
40,000
in Stockholm
in
only.
the archipelago. Okay, in this inner city is 40,
think,
and the
yes.
archipelago is 40,000.
Yes, and you can even take the ferry, right, instead of the bus.
Yes.
So as a common method of transportation, yes.
Yes, and then that becomes a part of building enjoyable societies, and then it actually addresses a sustainability development goal as well, from the maritime perspective.
I heard that we get the free coffee during a ferry as well, but I've never been to that myself. But yeah, I would love to.
You have to try it.
Yeah, I have to try.
Yes. The next program is Aerospace Engineering, and you have some experience from this, Boone, haven't you?
Yes, so I just got here in August, and so my first impression about KTH in general would be the system that we got here. So in one academic year we have 2 semesters, that is pretty normal, but in one semester we have 2 periods. This is quite different from what I had in my bachelor, and during this period I only have 2 courses. I kind of like it this way more than I had in my bachelor, because I took about 6 or 7 courses in one semester, and that way it's quite difficult for me to keep track of the courses, of the material. And about the program, I like the way that we can choose to be specialized in one of the tracks. So you can find more information in the website. So you don't need to know everything in aerospace to be in the industry. And someone might wonder that how am I supposed to know which track I am going to choose? So here how it works. So during the first semester, we will have the same mandatory courses, which about the introduction to 4 tracks. So you have some time to think and realize which one you like or which one you don't before you're choosing one. And you can also learn courses from another track like Ariadne. And another thing that I really impressed is about the group collaboration. So my first project at KTH, we were assigned to be with other 4 people from different countries. It was quite challenging for me at first because everyone is, well, just completely stranger, and everybody has a different academic and cultural background. So I have, like, it was difficult for me at first, but it get better, yeah. And especially in the international working environment, which we have to experience sooner or later when we graduate. And I want to emphasize that being an international student here at KTH doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, but what you do is more important.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
And sorry, so now that you mentioned the tracks, I think it's important to remark to the students that you don't need to choose your track before coming here.
Yes.
You're not gonna get admitted depending on your choice of track. You might be asked this during the admission process, but it's only so that they can prepare for the prospects of how
Yes.
many students they're gonna have in each track.
Just for the information.
Yes.
Yes. We need a rough estimate, but it's the hard choice is after coming here when there has been some information about the different choices.
Yes.
Yes. And yes. And so when talking about aerospace engineering, we're of course very interested in making sure that we develop as sustainable as possible ways to travel around the world and meet each other, so that we continue to learn more about each other and keep peace on Earth, so to speak. So sustainability is when it comes to sound, when it comes to emissions, etc., are key aspects of aerospace engineering that we are looking at, and that a lot of the research in the area is framed around that, so that also sort of spills over to the program. And when talking about aerospace, we're of course close to space, and when it comes to space, one of the professors in aerospace engineering is actually an astronaut. Sweden's only astronaut, Christer Fuglesang, is a professor at KTH. He's a member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences and the Academy of Engineering Sciences, and his research is related to particles in space and how they can affect human vision and other aspects. So Christer got his master in engineering physics at KTH, and later a PhD in particle physics at Stockholm University. And after becoming an associate professor at Stockholm University, he was admitted to the European Space Agency astronaut program, where he was enrolled 1992 to 2013. And during this time as an astronaut with ESA, he made 2 space trips with the space shuttle. And he is now director of the master program in aerospace engineering, and he also teaches a course on human space flight. And you interviewed him quite recently, didn't you, Ariadna?
Yes, just last week. Well, I was the camera woman, but yes. Because he is actually now treating a very interesting subject. He gave a lecture on how can satellites help solve the climate crisis. So it was a very interesting lecture, and if you want to know more about it, we're going to air, I think, the interview on Wednesday. And it's very fun because you're going to get to the chance to see him moonwalking.
So moonwalking like in the lecture hall, not on the moon?
Yes, exactly. He's never been on the moon, but yeah.
He's an amazing person, right?
Yes, very fun.
I love his energy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, so going from space to ground, we also have a degree program on vehicle engineering, which is looking at vehicle design, functions and requirements for vehicles rolling on the ground. This is of course important for transport systems, buses, cars, trucks, and also rail vehicles. So there are 2 tracks, which are road vehicles and rail vehicles. And needless to say, transport and mobility is one of the most challenging aspects of human life that we need to address in order to reach a sustainable development. In terms of when it comes to rail vehicles, we also have a joint program with University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where we offer a program in railway engineering, which is where every student takes online and campus courses, and at least 2 courses are studied at the opposite side of the Atlantic. That's the opposite side from where the other courses are taken. And there are a wide number of topics relevant for railway engineering that are covered in this program. So we're actually approaching the end of the program presentations. If you counted carefully, you notice that we're now at 9. And the 10th program is engineering mechanics. And this is, so to speak, my program, where we teach theory, numerical methods, and experimental techniques relevant for the study of fluid mechanics, solid mechanics, and sound and vibration. And here we are educating students to be well prepared for advanced industrial problem solving in large and small international enterprises. And also the students graduating from this program are also highly sought after candidates for PhD studies, both at KTH and elsewhere. And a professor in mechanics that I would like you to meet in this kind of slide meeting manner is Elena Gutierrez Farvik, or Lainey as we call her. She is professor in biomechanics, and she studies human motion. She recently established a human movement laboratory where she studies the motion of people both in health and in less healthy situations, in order to learn how to walk efficiently or move efficiently with less pain and less energy expenditure. Lainey got her master in biomedical engineering from the University of Michigan, and then moved to Sweden for her PhD, which she did at, again, the Karolinska Institute. As you notice, we are on a faculty level, we have quite a lot of interactions with the medical university. And she's now a full professor in biomechanics at KTH. So an example of an impact case in engineering mechanics is the project illustrated here, where we are aiming at clean air via innovative no-waste pollutant removal, where the idea is to combine non-thermal plasma and electron beam methods together with the state-of-the-art fluid mechanic knowledge in order to develop systems for cleaning air, so that we have clean air to breathe in our cities and elsewhere, of course. For the master thesis in engineering mechanics, we've chosen an example of project studying the mechanical performance of 3D printed objects. As you might know, additive manufacturing is coming largely, and then being able to predict performance and optimize shape in order to get the performance we need is a key aspect. And this is a work that was performed at Rice Bioeconomics in collaboration with Philauer AB, which is the Swedish abbreviation for incorporated. This was done by Anders Lindberg, and he is now working at a company called Exeger here in Stockholm. It's a very advanced company in not very big, but very advanced. So as I hope you have seen, our teaching is linked to professors highly active in research, and the research at engineering mechanics is actually involved in 18 competence centers in a wide range of subjects, and they are listed here. And you can, after the webinar, you can go back and look at this slide, and you can see that there's a wide range of application areas that we are addressing in our research. But going to KTH is not only about about studying. We also, of course, need to get a career after the studies. And when it comes to the career after KTH, we have quite a good knowledge of this, because every second year we do an alumni questionnaire, and from this we know that 97% have a job within 1 year, and 7 of 10 students obtain their dream job thanks to their degree from KTH. And about 20% start doctoral studies at KTH or elsewhere. And in terms of employability, KTH is ranked 58 in the Times Higher Education ranking, and 79 among at the Shanghai ranking, the QS ranking. So have you started to think about the career after KTH, Ariana?
Yes, I have. I would like to be a researcher, so stay in academia. So my first stop after I finish my master's is going to be start a PhD. I'm still going through different options. Now I'm looking for positions around Europe. So yeah, it's a very exciting path I have ahead. But for people who don't want to stay in research, actually I think KTH makes it so easy, because they have these huge career fairs like Armada. I don't know if you've been
Yeah,
there.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I've
it
been
was
there.
like a couple of weeks ago, right? Here?
Yes.
It's one of the biggest fairs, if not the biggest, in Scandinavia. And yeah, it's like companies like ABB,
Yeah.
Ericsson, Huawei,
And there's also Saab
Amazon. Yes.
and Airbus for aerospace industry, and also ESA, the European Space Agency.
Yeah.
So it was quite big, and we can get some information of each company and organization, which is pretty good.
Yeah, they come recruiting. They have graduate programs.
And they also offer for a master's thesis as well. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, right? They
Yes.
choose a master thesis in one of these companies, then if they like you, it's really easy to get a job after that because most of them, they keep you, or
Yeah.
at least you get some experience already, so that's something to put on your CV.
It's like a shortcut after you
Yes,
graduate.
Yes.
Yeah. So life after, you see life after KTH as bright then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but right now you're at KTH. So why don't you tell me a bit more about or us a bit more about the student life at KTH?
Well, I mean, there's everything to do here. I feel like Stockholm is a perfect city for being a student. And KTH, there's always something going on, from career fairs to sports events, pubs, concerts, whatever you want to do, you can do it there. You can see me here in the pictures. I'm kayaking in the lake behind KTH. That's where the rowing team trains. I'm ice skating in between classes. This is because this is the ice rink next to KTH. That's actually where the hockey team trains, which, if you've never ice skated before, they just did this weekend, I think this past week, training classes for people, for students who have never ice skated before, because maybe you come from a country where there's not that much ice, or like I did, like I just bought my ice skates when I came here. If you look at the top picture on the right, this is Aula Magna in Stockholm University. It's where the Nobel lectures are held every year. So the Nobel laureates, you know that the Nobel Prize is awarded by the Royal Swedish Academy of Science. So it's awarded here in Stockholm, except from the Peace Prize. So the Nobel laureates, when they come here to receive the award, they give these lectures about what they've been awarded for, and it's open to the public, so you get to be in a lecture given by the Nobel laureates,
Yeah.
which is really inspiring.
There's also a lottery, right, where you can win tickets to the banquet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we
I'll
should
have
try
to
it
check
next
that.
year, yeah.
Yes. And another thing that's really easy to do here is travel. So if you like to travel, it's easy and it's cheap. From like spending one day in the archipelago at the beach to like taking a ferry to a city in the Baltic. I've been to Helsinki, Riga, St. Petersburg. It's really easy to do, very, very cheap. But now let's address the issue that everyone's wondering about: winter in Sweden, right? So as you can see in the top right picture, that's Alba Nova at 3 p.m. It's dark and it's cold and it's snowing, and when you have to study, it's actually better because then you don't feel like going out and you stay inside and study. But when the sun comes out, it's a winter wonderland. And every other season is great, I think, here. In autumn, we have these super colorful trees that are amazing. If you walk or bike or commute to school, it's really nice to just look out the window or just look around you. And in the summer, then, contrary to winter, we have these endless days. You'll see when you.
Yeah,
when you're
I'm looking forward to that.
It's just the sun sets at like almost 11 in the evening. So after you've had dinner, you've gone to the gym, you've done, and then you can go for a stroll down the beach and watch the sunset before going to sleep. It's really amazing. Or go on a hike on these endless days. It's really nice.
So if you're walking back from a pub at 3 a.m., the sun is going to be up there
Yes,
already.
don't
right?
forget to bring your sunglasses. Yes. But it's actually pretty cool because then you walk home and it's not scary. It's not the birds are singing. It's very nice
Yeah.
to go home in this.
And
Nice.
how about you, Boone?
Okay, so I just got here in August, so my experience is still fresh. So first, I would like to talk about the student accommodation because it was the major issue that I concerned the most before moving here. So now I live in a 2-bedroom shared apartment with my girlfriend. We study in the same program, aerospace, and so the apartment is in a campus, which is a perfect location. I can just wake up a bit later than others and then just go down, walk across the street and go right into my class. So that is very nice. And in the apartment, you would have your own bedroom and you share a common area, a kitchen and a bathroom with your roommate. And so in the free time, I like to cook. Before I got here, I knew how to cook, but I don't do it every day. But now I basically cook for every day, for every meal for 2 of us. And in the center bottom picture, this is the actual kitchen of in the apartment. So you have the massive refrigerator and you got the stove and the oven too. And we brought our own rice cooker from Thailand. So as a suggestion for Asian student, please do that. It will make your life a lot easier. I will not survive without a rice cooker. And this is moving to the top, this is the food, the meal that I cook, basically. And to the right picture, this is how your room is going to look like after coming back from IKEA. So it's quite a bit messy because we have to put everything together ourselves, but it was fun. You can find a good quality built Swedish furniture from IKEA. It's a very fun place to hang out. And to the next slide. So I also love photography. And the first photo, it was taken in the front of the campus in autumn. So you can see the leaves start to change the color there. And in Stockholm, there are a lot of nice photo spots in the city. So moving to the top row on the right, you can see these 2 pictures. They were taken on the hill in Slussen, which is about 5 metro stops from the campus. And from the hill, from the top of the hill, you can see entire Stockholm, including the old tower, Gamla stan as well. And like Ariadna said, it's very easy to travel around here in Europe. I just went to Copenhagen for 3 days before an examination. So yeah, it's easy and it was a wonderful city. I would love to.
You can go by train, right?
Yeah, but I took the airplane down there. I booked just last minute again. Yeah, and of course, yeah. So I also love travel, and I also love music. I also play guitar. I enjoy going to concert a lot. This picture was taken in John Mayer concert.
Oh my God, I also went there.
Oh, I just know that. So, yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
So I bought a last minute ticket and I was sitting like at the right.
Yeah, I understand. I was in the same situation.
Yeah.
But
So here how it works. So I didn't know like when I'm gonna finish a project or something. So I just
Yeah.
had to do it that way. So it was a brilliant concert, good vibes, and it's wonderful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And this happened in only about 4 months of my stay here. And I'm expecting a lot more to come during my entire stay.
And you also passed your courses, right?
Yes,
Yes.
fortunately.
Yeah. And you worked as a student ambassador.
Yes.
Yeah, so the School of Engineering Sciences has a number of student ambassadors. So what do you do as student ambassadors?
yes, so you can see there all of our faces. We are here to reply to your questions. You can Google us. This is on the KTH website. There's an online form where you can send questions about the student life, about the programs, the application process, whatever your inquiries might be, we're there. And if it's something that we don't know, it doesn't concern us, don't worry, we will give you the right email address to ask your questions or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, please subscribe to our social media channel. So we are on pretty much every platform. So Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And we also have Chinese social media as well. So you just type KTH or KTH University and it will appear in the search. And if you want to read more about inside story of KTH, you can go to KTH website and then type international student blog. So you can read the article written by international student.
And just to show us how well you know the KTH rules and systems, can you tell us how to apply to KTH?
Yes, because that's the important part, right? For the people who are listening. So first of all, you need a bachelor's degree. You have to either have finished or be on your last year of studies, and you're going to have to prove this via a diploma if you have it, or if you don't have it already, your transcripts. Then you need to also prove English proficiency. You can do that by either some exams like TOEFL or Cambridge exams, or maybe you've studied your bachelor's in English, so that might be enough. You can check the requirements on the website. And then each program has some specific requirements, like a number of credits that you have to take in physics, maths, or a certain, like maybe in physics, for instance, you need to take quantum mechanics in order to be eligible for the program. But that you can check in the website of each particular program.
Now let's talk about the fees. So as a non-EU or EEA or Swiss citizen, we are required to pay an application fee and tuition fee. So the application fee would be 900 crown, Swedish crown, and you can apply for different programs. And for the tuition fee, the number that you see is for the entire 2-year program. So divided that by 4 and you pay in each semester. And we also have the scholarship as well. KTH scholarship was open yesterday, if I'm correct. And for the Swedish Institute scholarship, it will be open after Christmas, so please stay tuned. And you can also apply for the external scholarship as well. And please check the deadline of each scholarship carefully because it might contain different deadlines.
So what are the timeline here?
Yes, so first choose your programs, and you're going to have to submit your application by January 15, 2020. This is done through University Admissions, which is the portal that takes all admissions to universities here in Sweden. And after that, make sure to apply for the scholarships. As Boon said, just check each deadline because it's different depending on each scholarship. Very important deadline. You have some more days to submit some additional documents. So by 3rd of January, everything has to be submitted. Late submissions are not going to be accepted. And for February 3rd, you also have to pay the application fee, the 900 Swedish crowns, if you are a non-EU student. Remember that EU students don't have to pay this application fee and any tuition fee for that matter. And yeah, by April, you're going to know if you're in.
Is it possible to apply to multiple programs?
Yes, you can apply to 4 programs at the same time.
And
it's only one application fee.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for following this webinar. It's now time for questions and we'll do our best to answer them. So please, go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. We've received some questions. How is the academic year divided and how long is the exam periods?
Yes, so Ariadna, you've been here for 1.5 years?
Well, as Boon mentioned before, academic year starts late August and ends in the last week of May, first week of June, maybe. It's structured in 2 semesters and then each semester in 2 periods. So there are 4 periods in total.
Yes.
And each period has their own exam week. So when a period is normally about 7 weeks, so after the 7 weeks of classes, we take a 5-day break or so to study.
Before taking an examination.
Exactly. So you have time for own work to prepare for your for your exams, and you normally have around 2 exams.
Yes.
Unless you take extra credits. So yeah, you're gonna have a couple of exams in 1 week, more in the span of 1 week.
Yeah, it's kind of 1 week.
And then you start the next period.
New period.
Yes. And if you fail one of those exams or you wanna take it again, you have re-examination at the end of the following period.
Yes.
So first period exams were in October, late October,
Yeah.
right? So re-examination would be now before Christmas.
Yes, so there is always a second chance in the
Yes.
second,
Yes.
like 2 or 3 months time.
Yes. So
Yes.
that you have time to prepare again for the work that you missed.
Yeah, thank you.
How many students are there generally in one program?
I would say that differs, but
Yes.
Boone, how many are you in aerospace engineering?
I think it's about maybe 80 students, and there are a lot of diversities in the program, like Swedish or European, and many different countries are in the program. And we also have the double degree student as well, and they're going to be here for maybe a semester or a year. And yeah, people just come around and go.
Yes, a lot of exchange students
Yes.
too, so it's a bit difficult to account for, but I think in engineering physics we're less. We're around 40, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yes, but since like maybe we're 40, but it's we have 5 tracks, so some classes like advanced quantum mechanics, it's pretty general, then there's 30, 40 people in this class, but then some other classes that are more specific might be 7, 10 students.
Yeah, so it varies, and also since the tracks, it's
Yes.
the number of students in each class varies.
Yes.
Yeah, and there are also a class that other program from different programs study in the same class, so it depends.
Yes.
Yes, so I know, for example, in aerospace engineering, you take compressible flow, and you can take compressible flow and
yes.
computational fluid dynamics.
Correct.
And there you can meet students from energy technology or biomechanics or
I'm
other-
taking those in the next period. so,
Okay, yeah.
Yes, there are also some mandatory courses like theory and methodology of science, which is common through all the programs.
Yep.
And then those have, we take the lectures in a very big hall. It's, I don't know, hundreds of people. And then we do some seminars with reduced groups of 20, 25 people.
Is it a good mixture? Big classes, small classes?
I think so. Sometimes you don't need, in a lecture, you don't need this much proximity. It's more just sit and listen. And if you have any questions, you just go later on to ask the professor. And in the seminars or exercise lectures are more dynamic and more close, so that you can ask questions.
And then there are smaller groups.
Yes,
you have
exactly.
access to the
Yes.
teacher. Yes, okay. Yes, thank you.
What are the biggest challenges for students to complete the courses?
So I'd say that because of this period structure, it goes by very fast. So in the span of 7 weeks, you only do 2 courses,
yes.
but then there's
Maximum
a lot of
would be 3.
exactly
Yeah.
2 or 3. Then there's a lot of work,
Like project,
yes,
group work, and individual assignment as well.
exactly. So I'd say as long as you keep up with the work, don't let anything fall behind, because then if you miss a couple of weeks, you're gonna miss
Yeah.
like 10 chapters
Yeah.
or something.
And don't leave everything until the last minute.
Yes.
That's a bad idea.
Yes.
Yeah, so just stay tuned for everything for the material. And we also have the Canvas, right, which is very easy. It's the learning management system. We can access all of the lectures and other exercise on that Canvas.
Yes, it's an intranet portal,
Yeah.
and you can check the material. If you missed a class, usually the
Yeah.
teacher will post some information about it. You have the deadlines from the assignments, so
Yeah.
they make sure you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
So the challenge is to keep up and
Yeah.
Yes.
work hard.
Yes.
But if you do that, you get rewarded by.
By not stressing when exams come, because if you've been up to date through the whole period, then exam week comes, you have 5 days to prepare. It's very relaxed. You mostly know all about it, so you just have to focus on the structure of the exam, or maybe it's a tight exam, so just have to train for being fast.
Exercises.
Yes, thank you.
So, question for Fredrik. Can you give me some information about the possibility of research and job opportunities after a master in engineering mechanics?
Yeah, so in terms of research, we have large research activities in all the areas mentioned, solid mechanics, fluid mechanics, sound and vibration, maritime system, railway technology, vehicle engineering, aerospace engineering. So in all those fields we have large research activities, and we are always looking for talented students as PhD students. When it comes to the job market, we have quite a large number of large Swedish companies like truck makers like Volvo and Scania. We have the power companies like ABB and also a large number of small advanced companies like, for example, Mycronic, north of Stockholm, that makes the writers for the masks for basically all LCD screens produced in the world. So we have there is a quite large network of highly advanced companies also looking for skilled mechanical engineers.
Thank you. One student is wondering, how important is the motivational letter to get accepted?
Yes, so when the acceptance is made based on the grades and the motivational letter, so it's do not treat it too easily, but it's not the only thing that matters. How did you find the application process? What would you tell a student struggling with his or her motivational letter to KTH?
Well, I'd say for the people listening, don't panic, everyone, because not everyone has to do a motivational letter. For instance, for engineering physics, it's not necessary. The admissions are evaluated on previous study performance and the university ranking of your previous studies. So no cover letter plays any role in here. So I don't have much experience in that. I don't know about you.
I didn't have to write for aerospace as well, but I also applied to other university in Europe. So just maybe some program might require the cover letter, but if I would give a suggestion, I would say just show your passion. So show that what you wanted to do, what are you going to do with your degree, or show that you want to get in to study, to learn something at least.
Yes. And what you want to do with the knowledge that you might gain.
Yes, and
will gain.
Yeah, I think it would be better to maybe to make it sound more personal, to relate it to yourself. That would be a great idea as well.
Yes, exactly. Don't choose one motivational letter for all universities.
Yeah.
Just adapt it to the program you're applying to, because that's what a motivation letter is about. That's the name of it. So show your motivation, your specific motivation to what you're applying for.
Yes. So if a motivation letter is required, we want it to demonstrate the motivation to come here and study the subject.
As the name implies.
The program that the application is for. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for one more question, and it goes, how is the relationship between the students and professors at KTH?
Yes. So I know what I think, but I would love to hear the student view on this. So, Ariadna.
Well, I really like it, honestly. I think it's very relaxed environment. It shows, I think it's a reflection of the Swedish culture. Swedes are very easygoing. They're always going to greet you with a smile, and they're very helpful, and so are professors here. So without losing the respectful relationship, I think it's very close, and yeah, that makes things easier. You don't ever feel like you're asking stupid questions, because no one's gonna look down on you.
Yeah, there's no stupid questions.
Exactly.
So, teachers, in my perspective, are very helpful. Any request, any question, just go to them, ask them. If they don't know, they will come back later to give you the best answer. And they are also motivate students to learn more. Yeah, I really like the learning culture here.
Yeah, and I think most of the professors, we know that you students, you learn by working with the material.
Yes.
So we have to offer you the best opportunity, best approach to the material, and a good structure to work with it.
Yes.
So it's that's a sort of atmosphere that I think is impregnating the whole university.
Yes, and I think not only with the professors it's close, but also the KTH doesn't treat you like a number. I think you're a person to everyone. So staff, administration people, they're all going to be so helpful, and so they have to cover every need that you have, and that helps you feel very welcome in this university.
Everybody is in the same level, so equality, no hierarchy, no. Yeah.
Yes, no, there's, of course, this is Sweden, it's very
it's
liberal and evolved society, so there's no discrimination against gender, religion, political views, anything.
Yes. So we hope this webinar has answered a lot of your questions about, or at least some of your questions about studies at KTH, and in particular at the School of Engineering Sciences. And we hope to see your applications, and look forward to see you in our courses next fall. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fredrik, Kariana, and Boone for the presentation, and thank you to everyone who has been watching and submitted questions. You can follow a student blog and contact the student ambassador on our website. Looking forward to your application. Thank you very much. Goodbye.